Kate Upton was famous for her swimsuit modeling, appearing in Sports Illustrated in those famous swimsuit editions. She also was famous, and the reason I know her was from the viral videos. Those were some of the first viral videos involving models. And we all remember her teaching us how to Dougie at that LA Clippers game and the infamous cat daddy dance in that bikini. You know what I'm talking about, guys. Now, aside from that, Kate Upton was also wrapped in an interesting legal controversy, and that is the controversy with Grand Theft Auto 5, GTA 5. Now, what was the controversy? The controversy was that there was a character in the actual game, a blonde girl wearing a bikini, and that likeness kind of looked like Kate Upton, but it also kind of looked like Lindsay Lohan. And Lindsay actually filed suit against GTA 5 for the right of publicity. But taking this case, taking Kate Upton, is a good example for the right to publicity and the right of publicity. I'm Andrew Esquire, and this is The Legal Mindset, where we give you an unfair advantage. And today, we're gonna tell you all about the right of publicity and why it is critical to understand this right. One of the key reasons why it is so important to understand the right to publicity is it can force you to remove content. It can force you to take it down, and it can also force you to pay damages if you, in an unauthorized way, use a person's image or voice or any of their likeness. So let's explore the background of what the right of publicity is. Now, some people call it a right of seclusion. Now, if we're talking about publicity, why are we calling it seclusion? Well, that's because some of the power it draws is from privacy rights. Everybody has the right to privacy. You have the right to be left alone, to not be bothered. That is a fundamental right in the US. But part of that right is your right to your person, to your image, to your voice, and to not have someone else use your image, use your voice, use your likeness without your permission. Everybody actually has this right. It's not just for celebrities. It's not just for people who make millions and billions of dollars off their image. It's a right for everybody. So just remember that when we're talking about this. The reason why it's come up in so many celebrity cases is because celebrities can pay lawyers. Guys, I can tell you this as a lawyer. Lawyers are expensive. And the people who are willing to pay them to protect their rights, to sue, to attempt to recover money or make money on their image are celebrities, because their image is worth a lot of money. If you're just a regular Joe, you likely can't prove those damages as easily because your image is not worth as much. Sure, you could get it taken down, you could get it removed, but those damages are something that celebrities enjoy due to the power of their image. Now, as a regular Joe, you could get your image taken down. Let's say somebody uses a picture of you at your old high school reunion and uses it to promote adult diapers. They're doing the adult Pampers commercial with your old image. Well, you could get that taken down, but you likely couldn't get the damages a celebrity could get. A celebrity could get damages because they know exactly how much their image is worth. They do ad contracts, they do branding, they sign those deals. So when we're talking about lawsuits, we're usually talking about celebrities, just like Kate Upton or Lindsay Lohan. These ladies are celebrities with power to their image. Kate Upton and Lindsay Lohan both have power to their image as celebrities. So, what does the right to publicity protect? Well, obviously, it would protect an image of you, right? So if someone is using an image of you and putting it in a commercial, that is clearly no good. That's no good at all. it also would protect an image that is clearly you, even if it doesn't show your face. For example, everyone knows Michael Jordan of Chicago Bulls fame. Now, he sued and won against a supermarket for damages under this right of publicity because they used his jersey, his number, and the famous Chicago Bulls colors, the red and black. And because they used those things, even though they didn't use his face, he was able to sue and recover. Do you guys remember Wheel of Fortune? I loved that growing up. I watched the heck out of Wheel of Fortune and always, well, I generally was right. I'd say 50-50, I'd get those guesses right. But you remember Vanna White, the blonde who was always flipping the numbers? Well, there was a robot that came out that did the Vanna White task, that flipped up those numbers. That was similar enough for them to say, hey, that is a Vanna White replica, and protect that image. The right to publicity can also apply to tributes. During the Super Bowl, Fox played a tribute to Muhammad Ali, the boxing great, and they were praising him. They were saying good things about Muhammad Ali. They were saying he is one of the greats in sports. Well, here's the problem. They didn't ask him for permission. They didn't ask the family of Muhammad Ali, because he had passed away at the time, for permission to use his image. And that was impermissible. Now, lookalikes are also a big deal. Kate Upton has a lookalike who looks just like her. In fact, if you look at the cover of Sports Illustrated and then look at the lookalike, they look very, very similar. Now, let's say Kate Upton's lookalike went out and she started doing ads pretending she was Kate Upton. Let's say she went out there and did Kate Upton stuff. Let's say she did the Cat Daddy. Let's say she did the Dougie. So could Kate Upton sue on that? Yes, she could. In fact, Bette Midler, the famous singer, was able to sue because a sound-alike, a person who sounded like Bette Midler, sung a song like Bette Midler. So because somebody is a lookalike, because they look like you, can also be a basis for suit if they're profiting off that similarity, if they're going off that similarity. So, does this mean that you can never use an image online, that there's no way you can use somebody else's image? Well, if that was the case, we'd be in trouble. We're using them all the time for our thumbnails. But when something is newsworthy, when it's a piece of news, a news item, that is an exception to this. Then the First Amendment applies. The First Amendment has a freedom of press, and part of that is the ability to use images for press, for news purposes, for educational purposes as well. If you're using it for something that we'll consider fair use, that is something that is parody, let's say, like South Park, or is something that is purely educational, like in university or in school, you can use a person's image because that is non-commercial use. So, if you're using it for freedom of the press, that is, for news, you can use somebody's image. And if you're using it for parody, for education, or any other fair use, non-commercial use, you can use an image. So let's turn back to the case of Kate Upton, of Lindsay Lohan, and GTA 5, and that bikini image. Well, this went to court, and they said, actually, it's totally ridiculous. They threw that case out, guys. They threw it far out. Not only was it a generic blonde, and let me tell you, there's a lot of generic blonde Valley girls. It was not just Lindsay Lohan, despite the fact that that photo did look kind of similar, but it's a long time ago, Lindsay. Now, what they found was that not only was it a generic stereotype, but there was actually a model. There was actually a paid model who was in the credits, who was the inspiration for that character, that bikini girl in GTA 5. So that was completely thrown out. But here's the thing about the right of publicity. Here's the thing about these lawsuits that celebrities have been bringing and continue to bring into the future. The law is changing. A lot of states, like our favorite, California, oh yeah, great state. No, California has adopted even stricter laws regarding the right to privacy. I know, big surprise, California, and stricter laws. And because these laws are changing all the time, because laws continue to evolve, not just involving this, but involving many other areas of the law, you need to check out my playlist, Urgent Laws.